Hi, I'm Russian and I support Putin and Russian army, and people ask me, why is Putin so obsessed with NATO? Why can't he just let Ukraine join NATO? What's wrong with that? And I also have a question, what would happen if Mexico became communist and joined pro-China military bloc? I'm sure that USA would invade ASAP and they wouldn't be too wrong for that. That's exactly what happened to Cuba in 1961. And I can tell you that NATO did everything for Putin to hate it, but let's check the timeline. When the USSR collapsed, the Western leaders promised to Moscow that NATO will not expand to East. It was obvious because NATO was created to pressure Soviet Union, and now Soviet Union is gone, Russia became Russia. It stopped being hostile to the capitalist West and tried to build friendship. And we really did, we opened our markets, our politics, everything. But it seems like NATO treated our goodwill as weakness. Since 1990, NATO added 14 new members and moved its borders over 1,000 kilometers closer to Moscow. So in 2007, during Munich Security Conference, Putin said clearly that expansion of NATO is a threat to Russia. Let's be honest with NATO, it's not a defensive alliance. It bombed Serbia, it invaded Iraq, it destroyed Libya. And let me tell you how NATO tried to create a ring of military bases around Russia. Before Ukraine there was Georgia, in 2003 there was pro-Western revolution, and soon the new Georgian government announced its plans to join NATO. And in 2008 Georgia attacked South Ossetia and Abkhazia. These are disputed territories with Russian peacekeepers on the ground. And Russia responded with a swift operation that lasted only 8 days. And the message was clear, we will not let NATO use our neighbors to threaten us. Then Ukraine 2014, a coup brings anti-Russian radicals to power in Kiev. And then Ukraine declared NATO membership as a strategic goal. Then in 2020 there were massive pro-Western protests in Belarus. And then in Kazakhstan in January 2022. Again and again the same pattern. So the strategy of the West was to make regime changes right at Russia's borders, with all of them pushing for NATO membership. Putin invaded not because he didn't like Zelensky, but because Zelensky wanted to put NATO military bases at Russian borders. That's just what big countries do when they feel the threat. And for me it's a big tragedy that this war even started. We could have avoided, but the peace talks failed, and in the next videos I will tell you why. So subscribe to my channel and share your opinions in the comments. Thank you.